This is a quick look at the CTSmart YH11 purchased from GearBest. This is a clone of the Shirogorov, I'm probably going to pronounce it incorrectly, poluchetkiy flipper. And it's a lower end version. There are a couple of higher end clones which are of better quality and construction, but this is the GearBest variety, which comes with a G10 handle and a D2 steel blade. There are 3 varieties at the moment of this recording. There's this, which they consider to be white, and they also have the orange and the black. All 3 have the anodized pivot screw and the back spacer, but they just have a different handle scale color. So this one is what they would consider white, and on camera it does actually look pretty white, but in person, once you receive it, it's more of a pale green, kind of like jade. So I'd consider this kind of a jade color, but it's white to GearBest. In any case, the handles are G10. They are not very aggressively textured, so the ergonomics of this knife is pretty comfortable once open. For reference sake, my hand is a size small, and it fits pretty comfortably. So, on the ergonomic topic, we don't have any sharp edges around the corner that I can really complain about. Nothing too offensive, but if you had to nitpick, it is a little sharp on the inside edges, but it's nothing that could possibly cut you. And when you're gripping it, unless you're using it for a prolonged period of time, I can't really imagine it being a problem. It's very fine. The shape is really great with the cutout here and the finger choil. Your hand really locks into place. If you had larger hands, I think it would still work. My hand goes right up to there with about maybe 3 millimeters or so left. And if you had really large hands, your pinky might be over there, but I don't know if many people have such hands. It's a partial flow-through design with the anodized blue spacer, as I said before, which has a minor amount of jimping. Doesn't really add much to the ergonomics. It's more just for looks. There's no jimping on the top side and no jimping on the flipper, which is completely smooth. Still within ergonomics, I should mention the deployment of the blade, which uses a flipper. Some is a push button where you would just press in, some is like a light switch where you would pull back. This one is definitely the light switch version. It's very sharp and prominent point right there. So if you were to push down, it's actually pretty uncomfortable. I don't even try doing that. I did before and it was pretty painful. So you can call me a pansy or not, but it's just more comfortable doing the light switch. Like so. Blade deployment is very nice. It does have, if you can see in there, ball bearing pivots on both sides, and it's relatively smooth. It's not amazing by any means, but it's decent. Blade detent is quite good. You can shake this as vigorously as you want and it will not open. But once you open it, since it is a little bit on the tougher side, it really flies open. So, if you ever wanted to take apart this knife, you're gonna have to use Allen keys for the body screws. They're not Torx, they're Allen keys. And you would have to get creative with the pivot. It's a very unique pivot which I don't have a tool for. But since it came rock solid, luckily I won't need to anytime soon. There's no blade play up and down, side to side. It is solid. And if you look at the lockup, I would say it's about 30%. Pretty good for a new knife. Gives it room to wear in. And for the pocket clip, you can see that it is only for tip up right hand carry. This is not swappable either side for tip down on the left hand, and it's just for right hand tip up. The blade shape, as you can see there, is kind of like a fillet knife, sort of. It's a flat ground from the center here down to the bevel, and there's a false sledge up top on both sides. It's tapered. It adds to the aesthetics and I guess a little bit of the lightening of the blade itself. For specifications on the dimensions and weight, look in the description box. So you can also see in here there is no milling out. Even though you see that central hole there, that's just part of the liner lock side. They had to remove that for that liner lock to function properly. That's just the liner lock. It's not actually skeletonized at all. Even though this is a decently weighted knife for the size, I would consider this a medium to large carry because it's just under 4 inches about. And we have some other comparisons I can show it to you to now. So this is again the YH11 clone of the Shirogorov poluchetkiy. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Anyways, another Shirogorov clone, the 95T. This is also a clone though, which is much smoother. This is also running on ball bearings, but a lot smoother. I'll show you. It just drops back in once closing. Compared to this, also ball bearings. Now doesn't quite want to close. I'm trying to get it to drop in right now. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely not as smooth. There we go. The 95T clone, much smoother. Size comparison of the Shirogorov 95T on the top, and the poluchetkiy on the bottom. And in comparison to something that's pretty popular, it's the Land 910 Plus. Right down there at the bottom. Another thing I forgot to mention about this knife is the fit and finish. The anodized pivot screw as well as the back spacer, even though on camera it looks like just a solid blue anodization, in real life on mine that I received, there are little specks of bare steel or aluminum, whatever it's made of. So it's not very well finished. It's not a solid blue all around, and at the pivot there are some minor little specks of bare metal underneath. Minor issue, but something I had to mention. As well, the blade, it's a satin finish on the edge and the sledge up top, as well as the, actually no, yeah, just the sledge and the bevel from the middle down. It's very funny though, you won't be able to pick it up in the camera, but it's actually stone washed right there on the flats, and on the flats on the flipper, and on the spine. It's really quite strange. But anyways, there's a two-tone finish to this. It's very minor, but it's satin finish on the edge and the sledge, and then on the flat surfaces here around the flipper and on the spine of the blade, it's all stone wash. To me, I don't actually like it. It just looks kind of dirty, especially on the flats up top. But it obviously does nothing for the use of the blade. It's just aesthetics. And that is my quick look at the YH11 made by CTSmart, purchased from GearBest. It's a decent knife for the price. Thanks for watching. Until next time.